Jameson Hart turned the corner onto the street that held his objective and raised a hand to shield his eyes from the morning sun. He glanced down at the analogue face of his antique-looking heavy steel watch to confirm he was on schedule. It read 8:28 a.m., exactly as it was supposed to. Although it had been a while since he'd done an infiltration of this sort, the familiar adrenaline filled him, accompanied by an almost ridiculous confidence. Such an attitude was essential when one walked boldly into the enemy's domain. His stride was purposeful and almost military perfect, appropriate to the persona he'd adopted for the mission. His hair was shorn almost to the skin on the sides and slightly longer on top, in the standard fashion of the British military, and he was clean-shaven. He'd used a dye over the past several days to make his skin a few shades darker than its norm. Behind his fashionable glasses, his eyes were coffee with cream brown, rather than their normal colour, due to the contact lenses that covered them. The right side of his mouth turned down to create the hint of a perpetual scowl. A prosthetic scar accomplished that most obvious change to his ordinary look, and would likely be the only thing anyone examining his features noticed. Unfortunately, all those steps he'd taken to obscure his identity would amount to nothing against the facial recognition scanners awaiting him at his destination. A handsomely paid man inside the building would hopefully address that problem by inserting a false identity into the system keyed to his new features. Jameson planned to flee if something went wrong at the entrance. If it became necessary to fight, he had a few disguised gadgets hidden in his suit pockets and among his accessories to assist. That would be decidedly suboptimal, since it would steal the element of surprise essential to his mission's success. Through the small radio in the temple of his glasses, a voice radiated through the bones in his head, inaudible to those outside. The Infomancer assigned to assist him, Alpha, reported, "On time and on target." He murmured, "Yep." His right hand dipped into his pocket for his counterfeit identification badge, which he would secure to his lapel for all to see, after using it to get through security.